And we're back in the studio, and yes, we have a studio again. So on today's episode of Tool Tuesday, we're going to be going over wrenches, particularly all the essential wrenches that we use in HVAC. So there's a bunch of different styles, different types, and we use them for different things, and I'm going to go over every single type of wrench that we use in HVAC and what you can use them for. So here we go. As you can see here, we have all kinds of different wrenches. They're all different brands, different sizes, different shapes, different types. And they all do something different, but we use every single one of them because in HVAC, we're definitely wrenching on things. So anyway, the first thing I'm gonna go over is wrenches. So this is our most basic type of wrench here. This is actually a ratcheting flex head wrench. And these all come in specific sizes. You can get them in SAE Imperial, or you can get them in metric. Now I have a set of these, which these are all Imperial or SAE, basically in inches. These things are great. I actually got this set. It's actually an 11-piece set. Comes with a molded case. This guy right here. This is actually made by Azuno. Now this set, I can't find it on Amazon anymore. It was an awesome set because it comes with 11 of these things and this case for 40 bucks. And I honestly just kind of bought it on like an impulse. And I'm glad I did because I actually use these all the time for a lot of different things. Now the nice thing about these is these are specific sized wrenches. So, you know, if you're loosening a bolt or a nut, usually it's the best thing to do is to use the actual size wrench for that particular nut. So this particular set is 3/4, 11/16, 5/8, 9/16, 1/2 inch, 7/16, 3/8, 11/32, 5/16, 9/32, and 1/4 inch. This 1/4 inch here is amazing. This thing is really awesome because you can really reach in there and get those 1/4 inch bolts, I guess you could call them, or nuts or screws, whatever. Because sometimes you just got it. You can't get your drill in there. So what you do is you stick this thing in there, right, and you just kind of loosen it up, and then you can get it with your hand. So I use this quite a bit. That's the 1/4 inch one. The 9/32, not so much. I haven't needed it, but I'm sure there'll be one day where I'll have some weird screw that doesn't quite fit. So the other one that I use a lot is the 5/16. I also use the 11/32. This actually is the size for the little nuts that hold on the, what do you call it, the condenser fan motors. So sometimes if you're having trouble getting that off, or if it's, you know, you require some kind of pass-through wrench, this will work pretty well. I also use the 3/8. Now this guy right here is awesome because, and I'm going to show you some footage. So as I'm going through all these tools, I'm actually going to show you some real in the field footage of me using these things. One of the things that I like about tool videos is, you know, they talk about the tools, but I never see anyone actually using it in the field. Like they might do it like a test bench or something, but I would like to see it actually being used in real life. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Now obviously for time we're not going to do on every single one, but we will throw a little bit in there. But as I was saying, this 3/8 ratcheting flex head, I'm going to show you what you can use it for, and it has to do with set screws. So this is one of the uses that I use these ratcheting head wrenches for, you know, especially with the flex, is you have these stupid fans here for these, you know, unit heaters, and sometimes, especially Lennox, they like to put the set screw underneath the blade. So it's like, how do I get a wrench in there? I can't do it. Well, the nice thing about this particular one, and this is an Azuno one, I don't know if you can get these anymore, but you can, basically you see the star pattern here, like it's not like your standard one. So I've tried to use these, but it doesn't work. But if you use the 3/8 and it's got all these like crazy like star patterns, you can actually hook it into the set screw here. So because of that pattern, I'm able to actually get this square head what do you call it, set screw into it, and now I can actually ratchet it out. So right. Now obviously if you have better ones with more engagement, it'll work better. But as you can see, I got that out, no problem. There you go. So isn't that freaking cool? So yeah, as you saw, the fan blade and the motor, the freaking set screws in between the two. So how the heck was I gonna get that off? Usually I would try to use this itty bitty little tiny adjustable wrench, but there was no way that was gonna fit. So this thing totally saved me, but who would have known? So this is actually a set screw right here. You can see that if it'll focus. Come on, focus. You can do it. Yes, okay, so there we go. Now this thing is actually a 5/16. So if you take your 5/16 wrench, it'll fit right there, right? But if you try to put the ratcheting side on there, it won't fit. However, if you take the 3/8 one, because it has the multi points on here, it's not just, it's not like the 5-point one. Look at that, fits in there perfectly. So then you can get in there and ratchet it. Now these are probably 72 teeth on the ratchet, but it was just enough, as you saw, to just barely move it to get the thing off. So this totally saved me. You can also do this on blower wheels too. It totally works the same way. So these things are great. The only downside about having these wrenches is you have 11 wrenches in your bag. And believe it or not, I actually do carry these in my bag, just because I'm not one that likes to have to go back to the truck to grab stuff. For instance, this case here, it doesn't get used. It just takes up space in my garage. These wrenches are very basic, but they really come in handy. This particular guy right here, this is the 3/4 inch. I actually use this to adjust belt tension on train and telepacks. So you know those big massive units that are the size of a school bus? You have to climb inside them, but when you're having to change the belt on the blowers, you have to actually loosen all those nuts to be able to slide the motor over so you can get the belt off. You put the new belt on, slide it where it's tight, and then you crank it down with this guy. And that's a 3/4 inch nut. So this comes in handy for that. In some cases, I also use the 1/2 inch. Now, this set that I've had it for over a year. Like I said, I can't find it on Amazon anymore. I think the company stopped making it because I wanted to buy the metric version of it, and that disappeared, and they had like a combination set where it was SAE and metric, but it was skipping sizes. And then eventually when I would look for it, it was some other brand, so I guess they quit making them. Azuno, from what I can see, still makes tools, but just not these particular ones, or maybe they got bought out, I'm not sure. But if you are going to get a set of these, I would highly suggest getting one that starts with the 1/4 inch. A lot of them start at 5/16 and go up from there. The 1/4 inch one, totally worth it. This one right here is the 1/2 inch. I've actually lost the 1/2 inch one. So this is actually a GearWrench 1/2 inch. And I would say the quality is about the same as this. I mean, I don't really see too much difference. There's some minor differences, but this part right here is actually smaller on the Azuno, and this one's a little bit bulkier. I have noticed that the flex part is a little bit tighter than these. These are a little bit more loose. But one nice thing is this does have like a little arrow on it, so it tells you the direction. And this one does not have that, the GearWrench one. So these are probably made in China, but they are chrome palladium. And you know, this is probably made somewhere that's not China, but maybe Taiwan or something. But you know, these wrenches, I'm very happy with them, very, very happy with them. So the next type of wrenches that I want to go over are our adjustable wrenches. Okay, so the official name for this is an adjustable box wrench, right? So, or also known as a crescent wrench. Why do we call it a crescent wrench? Well, guess what? This company right here, Crecent. Supposedly they invented this. And basically this is one of these type of wrenches, but it's adjustable. So you can pretty much turn this here, and you know, it changes sizes. See, now it's about, that's about a 3/4. Now these come in handy because instead of having 11 wrenches, you can actually get quite a lot of sizes out of one wrench. So it's less stuff you have to carry. Us being out in the field, you know, you got to be able to fit the stuff in a bag. However, there are some drawbacks to these. Whenever you're loosening any kind of nuts, usually it's the best way to do it is to use the actual proper size wrench. Adjustable wrenches come in handy because you don't need as many. However, there are some drawbacks. Now you can see here, and this just doesn't really matter on the brand. The problem with these crescent wrenches or these adjustable wrenches is the way they work. So you have to turn this little corkscrew thing here in order to, you know, actuate this part. However, because of the construction, the way it's made, you can see that this moves a little bit. And it just has to do with the general design. And no matter what brand, they all have a very similar mechanics on how they work. So they all kind of do this. So what ends up happening is if your nut is like not on there tight, you can actually round out the nut because it'll slip. Here I actually have a nut here. And this is where it comes in handy. So if you have SAE or metric, doesn't really matter, you can fit this thing. But we can see here, this is a flare nut that I have. So this is probably metric. So you can see here that I have it kind of loose, right? But see, it wobbles a little bit. So, you know, potentially if you put too much force on it, it could slip. So that's the problem. Now, when it comes to situations where you want to use the right size, you could use this as a backup wrench, which is not really a big deal because you're just kind of holding something in place, and then you can use this on the actual nut you're trying to turn. So, you know, there's always that option, because otherwise then you would need 2 3/4 inch. So that means instead of having 11 wrenches, I would have 22 wrenches. So yeah, you know, so when it comes to that, these come in handy. But lately I've just been using these. But these are the wide as. So you can see here we have our 8-inch old school Craftsman, and I have my 8-inch wide as. So if we open this, I can only get to about that size, right? Now if I open this one here, I can get to that same size. However, the nice thing about this particular one is the jaw gets much bigger. As you can see, this is actually the largest jaw I have. So this one right here, this is the 10-inch Crecent, and you can see here that the jaw just does not open up as much. Like, it's close, but not as much. Now what's really crazy is this little one, this 8-inch actually opens up more than the 10-inch wide as you can see, just by a little bit. But yeah, that kind of tripped me out. I actually didn't realize that until now, but in some cases you do want the longer handle just so you have better leverage, you know, if you're dealing with bigger ones. But the nice thing is this guy opens up, this is the 6-inch, it opens up pretty much, almost as much as this one. So that's really handy because sometimes you're in a tight spot and you can use this one rather than the big one if you don't have the space. So that's a pretty nice feature, and that's why I have these channel locks. Plus I do like the handles, I like the softer grip. It's just a lot more comfortable to hold, and it's less, you know, it's less fatigue on your hands. But yeah, so those adjustable wrenches are really handy, but like I said, they do have their drawbacks, and that is that if you don't have them on tight enough, they can actually round out. So when I'm using one of these, I have to actually loosen it a little bit to get it on, then I have to tighten it, turn it, loosen, pull it off, put it back on, tighten, turn it, loosen, take it off, and do that. Now you get used to doing this, as you can see, but when you're in a hurry, you can see here that I'm not getting it all the way every time, so I could potentially damage the nut, or I could damage my actual, you know, tool. And I don't know if this shows up, but there's like little nicks and stuff in the metal just from that happening. And like I said, it's nothing against this particular brand, they all do it. Every single brand that I have, they all have little nicks and stuff. This is the Craftsman, the USA made one, and you can see it moves. Maybe not as much as the Channellock, but it still moves. The actual Crecent one, it moves quite a bit. So, I mean, there's just no getting around that. That's just kind of part of it. However, I just learned about this new guy, and I just got this today. I haven't even used the thing yet. And that's this guy right here. This is a pliers wrench, which is just like crazy to me. This is the 7.5 or the 180, yeah, 180 millimeter. This is made by Knipex or Knipex, however you pronounce it. I've heard of this brand before, but I never really paid attention to it because I thought it was just like, you know, electrician's brand. But I started like looking into it, and I could see the potential of it being an HVAC. I already like it, and I haven't even really used it. But the nice thing about this is basically you're taking good old Channellocks, you know, or tongue and groove pliers, and you're taking an adjustable wrench. And you know, they kind of just took these two, and this is what we ended up with. But yeah, so the benefit of it is, the nice thing about this Channellock or the tongue and groove plier is the actual design of the head. You can see, so it really maximizes leverage. And then the nice thing too is you can actually use your hands to create pressure, so it just really holds on there. And then because of the design of the jaws, it just will bite into it, and you just get a lot of what do you call it? You just get a lot of leverage in whatever you're doing. Now, obviously, this is for a pipe. Some people do use these wrenches because you can actually grab a nut, as you can see. However, because of the jaws, it's going to scratch it all up. If you don't apply enough pressure, it could spin out and just destroy the thing. If you're not trying to reuse the nut, yeah, you could probably grab this and use it. Because these type of pliers are like all-in-one. I mean, these pliers are just super versatile. I use them for all kinds of things. This particular brand, or actually this particular set, I've had for years. This was bought by my dad, and he used it for years, and he just gave it to me at some point, or I stole it, I don't remember. But I've been using it for years, and it's just starting to wear out. The handles are all messed up. And the teeth are actually starting to wear out, so it does slip. I primarily use these things when I'm working with gas pipe, but I also use it as a hammer, and I also use it to hold hot pipes when I'm brazing and all kinds of different things. This is a very universal type of plier. So they took that proven design, and they mixed it up with one of these guys where we can adjust it. But they got rid of the teeth, and they made it flat. And look at this action here. You can see here that it stays perpendicular with itself. So the benefit of that is you can adjust its size by the push button here, as you can see, right? And so we can find our size. Now obviously this ain't gonna fit, so we just push the button here, we open her up. That looks about right. It locks in place. We open it, right? Now we clamp down on it, and we're actually holding it down with our hand. So we're applying pressure to the top and bottom of this. That way it's not gonna slip. And one of the byproducts of this is the awesome part, is you get a ratcheting action, right? Now, in this case, I wanna probably adjust the size a little bit more. So I'm gonna push my button here. So yeah, there we go. So now I'm able to, as you can see, it's not moving. It's tight on there. Now check this out. This is the cool thing, okay? So what ends up happening is now we have a ratchet action, right? So I can let go of the plier, right? I can let go of it. And now I can let it roll over, grab it again, bring it down, open, roll over, grab it, bring it down. So I get this ratcheting action where I don't have to take it off of the nut. Like with one of these, what I have to do is I have to tighten it, turn it, loosen it, remove it completely, put it back on, tighten it, move it. So this gets rid of having to do that, which is just a game changer in my eyes. And look at how big this gets. You have this tiny little one, or you can open this up and you have this huge one. Now, this is my 8-inch adjustable wrench. This is the one with the biggest jaw, and it's not that much bigger. So I could just easily get like maybe another size of this if I needed a bigger one, which I really don't think I do. So this is gonna pretty much replace all of these. If I just got one more size, I think it would replace all of them, to be honest. So this is really cool. I haven't used this in the field yet, so we'll show you some images of me using this in the actual field.
This is one of the applications we can use our pliers wrench in HVAC. We're going to be changing this belt, so first things first, we need to loosen this lock nut. So we're going to go ahead and grab that with our pliers wrench like so. That off. And then we grab this top here like so, and we can move the whole thing. Look at that. How awesome is that? Take our belt off. Okay, and put our belt back on here. Okay. Pliers wrench. Grab that. Alright, that seems to be a good tension. Yep. And now we go ahead and put our lock nut in. And there's our ratcheting function. Nice and tight. Love it.
So that's pretty much how you use that one in the field, which is pretty awesome. I have no idea because I'm recording this before I actually used the thing, but I'm sure it was pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to using it, and I'm pretty sure I was pretty excited about using it in that clip. But I'm going to be continuing releasing more videos like this on Tuesdays. So Tool Tuesday is going to be about tools. They won't necessarily be sponsored. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But mainly I'm going through the tools that I own, that I use every day, and just giving you some ideas of what you can do with them. If you're in the market and you're trying to buy some new tools, and you know, because they are a hefty expense, no matter what you're getting, maybe you want to hear how they worked out for someone who's been using them in the field. So that's what I'm here for, because buying tools can sometimes be a hit or miss. You can spend a lot of money and you're stuck with a tool that you just don't like, which really sucks because it can get pricey. One thing, for instance, this guy right here, this was pretty expensive for a hand tool. It is made in Germany, and I would say that the quality is very nice. It's very comfortable to hold. And I'm looking, I mean, it looks like it's pretty durable. We'll see how it does out in the field. But yeah, you know, it's definitely an investment. But as a technician, having quality tools makes your job easier. And also it defines you as a technician. So having a good set of tools, you know, just helps with your overall competence or confidence in what you're doing. Because it's nice to have a nice tool and it, you know, that you can trust and, you know, rely on because it's your job. It's your bread and butter. So anyway, if you like this video and you want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe and comment and let me know what else you want to see. I'm going to keep doing these videos because I'm a big tool nerd and I love tools and I love talking about them. So if you have any advice on tools you want to see on the channel or you want to see me try out, I'm definitely looking forward to that because I have no problem getting more tools. So anyway, if you want to help support the channel, all these tools, I'm going to have links in the description below, or you can visit my Amazon tool store, which they'll also be on there. And if you want to pick them up, I get a little kickback, helps me buy more tools so I can review them. So anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment, tell me what a horrible technician I am, hit that bell notification, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and again, if you want to support the channel, pick up some tools on my tool store, or get some work stocks from Camel City Mill. Use Nighthawk 10 on there for 10% off. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.